I'm going to start recording now, even though we missed the best part of this lesson, I think. Alex, how's it going?
Cool. That's good. I just got accordance, which is fun.
Nice. Yeah, I got an email. They wanted to verify that you are eligible for the discount.
Am I old enough?
Well, no, it was like Accordance emailed me asking if I should if they give you the discount. I was like, nah.
Oh, thank you. I owe you $100.
Yeah, that's what I should have done. I want to cut from all of you.
Okay.
$25 each. I'm not asking for too much there, I don't think. Cool. Well, Accordance is red, so you can pull it up and mess around with it, and you can cheat now. You don't actually have to do any work. Very nice.
Yeah, Accordance is great because you don't actually have to know anything.
Yeah.
Oh, English.
I remember the day I got Accordance, and I stopped learning Hebrew and Greek from that day forward. Like my language skills did not increase for a very long time until I forced myself to actually read from the paper Bible again. So mark this day on your calendar. This is the extent of your language knowledge. With that doom and gloom in mind, I guess we can read a little bit of Hebrew off of Accordance with their instant details box handy and ready. Where are we? Did we finish chapter 3?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure we finished chapter 4.
We finished the whole thing?
Yeah, remember, because it turned into a Halloween story with the pumpkin?
That was in class, though.
Yeah, I guess we did. So maybe we could read.
Let's just go to chapter 5.
Yeah, let's go.
Sure. Micah 1:1. You just keep read chapter 2. That could be fun, or we could start from the beginning and see how far we get. What do you guys feel like doing?
Let's do chapter 2.
Ooh.
Poetry.
All right. That pie has got you.
Oh.
Yeah. Feeling adventurous, y'all.
Not that hard. It's just the vocab. The vocab is just so difficult. But hey, we have Accordance now, so the vocab, we know everything now.
Mm-hmm.
Where does it start? Verse 3. Yeah, because Jonah praised unto the Lord his God from the belly of the dog. Starting in verse 3. So some of the keys in poetry is realizing that you're reading Hebrew poetry and you're looking for parallelisms. So normally the Atnak will divide the verse into two, and those two pieces will parallel one another, either synonymously or antithetically or climatically or synthetically, one of those four. Have you guys studied Hebrew poetry? You must have had
Yeah, briefly.
All right. How did I get this far? They have
we've heard those terms.
You don't do Hebrew poetry or something? Okay. Well, so in Hebrew poetry, those are the 4 different ways that the lines will parallel one another. So there's no rhyming in Hebrew, which my freshman year of college, when I took Hebrew, my professor asked, "Why are you taking Hebrew?" I was like, well, the translation just missed all the rhyming in the Hebrew Bible, and I really like to hear all the rhymes, the original, and he's like, well, we're off the class right now because there's no rhyme in Hebrew, right? It's devastating to me.
Buddy, little 18-year-old Jared.
Stuck with it, and,
And here we are.
Yeah, realize that there's more to Hebrew poetry than just word rhymes. I like to think of it as thought rhyming. So they rhyme their thoughts in different ways, either by saying the same thing twice or saying the opposite thing in a second line. The other two, synthetic and climatic parallelisms, are a bit more rare. But synthetic is when the second line completes the first line. Climatic is when you have multiple lines that build one upon the other. You normally have a repetition at the beginning. So I will praise the Lord, I will praise the Lord, I will praise the Lord, on all buttressed with a second line that repeats the thought but builds. So anyways, when we're doing this, especially when we're trying to figure out the vocabulary, we'll want to be guessing as much as we can based on the context. So we'll look at our parallel lines and realize that there's going to be a lot of synonyms from one line to the next, and that will help us with our vocab. The other thing we need to know is word order rules are out the window. There's things are fronted for just for fun. Verbs are left out. Prepositions are left out oftentimes. So they're going to try to say as much as possible with the least amount of words as possible, which makes it difficult for us because we need help oftentimes when we're translating Hebrew poetry, and there's just no help to be found. So with those few things in mind, let's try to experience a little bit of Hebrew poetry. Jonah's poetry, I think is terrible. He's quoting passages from the Psalms, just like random Psalms, little bit by bit, and builds his own little prayer here, which I think has broken the Psalms and kind of made this like Dr. Frankenstein's monster sort of psalm. So, but hey, it's Jonah's psalm. Maybe you'll like it. Other people think it's like beautiful and the best psalm ever. But I don't know.
What else are you gonna do when you've been eaten by a dog?
I know. You're just like, you're a little low on oxygen. You're surrounded by like dead fish in a belly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of gross. I hear you. Well, let's go ahead and read together then. Katie, you're the first on my screen, so you can just read the first line here.
Cool. Vayomer karati mitzara li el Adonai vaya'aneni. First line or Atnak?
Atnak, so that's the...
Okay. So, and he said, I cry out from the Tzara to me unto the Lord.
That's right. Good. So that's very helpful. When we don't know a word, just say it in Hebrew and we'll try to figure it out if we can. So Jonah says, I cry out from the Tzara, that is to me, and he's crying out unto the Lord.
So from my place or from my despair?
Yeah, despair is the right direction. That's right.
Cool.
So Tzara means distress, but despair works, I think, just as nicely probably here.
Okay.
Good.
Cool. And unto the Lord, and something, I want to say something about eyes.
Eyes. Yeah, I see where you're going, but this is a verb.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so this is actually a kind of a challenging word, although it's very common. Anah means to answer. It also means to like plow, engrave. I don't know, like 3 or 4 other weird things, but this one
that would make it really common.
needs to answer. Yeah. So it's ayin, noon, hate, and he answered. And then what's the knee on the end?
Me.
And he answered me. So Jonah says, I cried out from the distress that is to me unto the Lord, and
He answered me.
Yeah. All right, Jonah, go ahead and finish off this verse.
All right. Nebeten Shaol Shivati Shamata Koli.
Koli Tov Ma'od.
From the something of Sheol, Shivati. I don't know what that word means.
All right, so let's guess based on parallelisms. So over here, here's our verb, and this is what he's crying out from. Here's what he's crying out from, and here's our verb. So pick a synonym and run with it.
I'm going to guess it's a synonym for distress.
Well, parallel it with the verb. So the verb and the verb are going to be our synonym.
Oh, okay. So I cry and Shivati. I cry out, something like that.
Sure. Yeah.
I cry out from the depths of Sheol, something like that.
Yeah, that's a good, an appropriate guess. Yeah. And you know all of these words here at the end.
Yeah, he hears my voice.
He, well, parse out your
Wait,
verb.
you hear my voice.
You hear, you heard my voice. So this part here is paralleling this verb, right? So everything is all lined up very nicely. So betin means the belly, right? Belly, betin, my belly button is how I remember that one. So betin, belly. So from the belly of Sheol, Shavah is to cry out, right? So your guess there was very appropriate. So this one we might say I called, and this one we say maybe I called or cried out. So in our translations, we'll want to pick synonyms in English. We won't want to translate with the same word. So we need to just pick some separate synonyms, even though they overlap in meaning. All right. So any questions or thoughts on this one? Anything stand out to you as far as grammar or poetry or anything?
I noticed that Shamata doesn't have a vav, which I would expect it to have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so typically, if you're reading some form of narrative, most of the verbs would be preceded by a vav, right? Most of our clauses are separated by some sort of conjunction. Forget the conjunctions. You got one up here just for fun, but what this one actually does to us is it makes it seem like this is a clause, and everything that came before it is a clause. So it kind of throws us off when this one actually is a clause by itself, but it's connected to everything that came before it. So we want to watch out for our accents. The Nazarites will really help us with those. So we'll follow them closely. So good observation there. Anything else? All right. Let's go ahead and see what we can do with the next verse here. Alex, go ahead and read knock.
Vatashali Kani Mitsula Bila Vav Yamim Vanahar Yasovaveni.
Yasoveni. Yeah, that's hard to say with the two vowels there. Or two baits. All right. So what are you going to do with all this stuff? Not many words here that you actually know, to be honest.
I think the first one might be an imperfect second person with a first person brief suffix.
Good. Why is the yod there in the middle, the heric yod right there?
The Hifil?
Because of Binyan reasons?
Yeah, Binyan reasons. Yep, Hifil. I don't think we've had that root to throw or to cast out, something like that.
That's not like to hurl out of the ship or something?
Oh, yeah. Maybe we did have it back up in verse or chapter 1. Was it the same verb?
Wait, is that from shalach, to send?
Looks like it.
Yeah, well, same root. Shalach.
But with more of a meaning of to cast out with the hifil.
Yeah. Yeah, cause to be thrown. Right, so to cast it out.
Interesting.
All right.
You cast me out.
Yeah. All right. So you cast me out. Mitsula is a word that I actually don't remember until I looked. Deep. You cast me out deep. Bil Vav. Anybody remember Levav or Alex first maybe?
To make bricks.
To make bricks. Actually a noun here.
Heart?
That is heart.
Hmm.
So in the heart of the Yamin.
Of the seas.
That's right. So you cast me, and we're missing what I feel like we're missing some sort of preposition to the deep in the heart of the seas. Right.
I don't suppose Mitsula could be functioning as an adverb in any way.
Sure. So you cast me deep into the heart of the sea.
Right, something like that.
Sure. Yeah, that would work just fine, I think. Adverbial noun. It happens. So you cast me deep into the heart of the sea. Vanahar Yasol. Nahar. I think we've had Nahar. Must have.
I feel like we have, but I don't remember it.
All right. Well, do you remember Har?
Mountain.
Mountain.
Yeah. So Har is mountain. Nahar is the water that runs off of the mountain and turns into rivers.
Ah.
Nahar is river.
Oh, and river and a river swamped me.
Yeah. But Sabab means to circle about.
Okay.
So it circled about me. And then done with that part. So back to Katie. Trying to finish this off.
Kol mishbareka Galeka alai avaru.
So,
Okay, so it surrounded me. Everything mishbareka. Everything you are shabaring and galeka unto me avaru. Yep.
I like that translation.
it's a good one. I translate the words when you know what they mean.
Right.
Avar. You remember Avar?
Afar.
Passover. So
Oh.
Passover. All right. So not too many words that we know. Shavar is a noun for
Oh.
large waves.
Cool.
So all of your large waves and your galals, these are a different type of wave, apparently. All of your large waves and your other type of waves. Or let's see here. So now this is a bit tricky. So upon me, they pass over.
Yeah.
Pass over upon me. I mean, it's quite appropriate. Like, he was cast into the water and he's remembering Psalms about like water. So we're not too surprised by this. But he's being surrounded by water. He's down in the belly of Sheol. And the waves are like crashing over him.
Okay.
Right. Here. We just read. It's like 30 seconds ago. I forget. Oh, well, let's see here. Jonah, go ahead and pick up from there. Where is the Atmach?
It's a inecha.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Va'ani amarti nigrashti mineged inecha. And I spoke nigrashti. Something from before your eyes.
Yeah. So what can you do with Garrosh? What do we know? Not know.
I'm going to guess the root is garage, maybe.
Probably crying or yelling.
It's probably a good guess too. Who's doing it? Parse it out as best you can.
It's a first common singular. Something perfect. Maybe.
Mm-hmm. What's the noon doing on the front there?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Can participles take noon ever?
So
No.
it's a Binyamin marker.
So is it a nifil?
It is.
Nifal?
Yeah,
Perfect.
that's right.
Okay.
First on singular.
So it's either reflexive or passive, presumably.
Yeah, one would imagine, but not always necessarily.
Okay.
So Garage needs to drive out or something like this.
Okay. And I spoke, and I was driven out from before your eyes.
Yeah, I was driven out from in front of Neged. So it's another way of saying Lifnei, like from before. But it can also mean opposite, like you can be on the Neged, the other side of the Jordan River, the Neged, opposite side. So from in front of your eyes. So I cried out and I was, okay. So Alex going to pick up from there.
Ak osif lachabit el
Okay. Cool, thanks.
Heikal Kada Sheka.
So I think this would be called Shecha.
Your Holiness.
Mm-hmm. Well, so it's modifying something, but
Okay. Ak. But.
I always translate this as like surely, but nevertheless, according to the same nevertheless, I guess that works.
Asaf. So together.
No, it's to do it again or to add.
Add, yeah, that's what I was gonna guess.
Yosef. He adds. It adds.
So it's from Yod Sonic.
I. To something. Hambit.
Yeah. Nevat. I think we had Nevat.
Petitions.
What was that? To look?
That's right. To look or to gaze. Yeah, Nevat. The noon is, where's the noon? I think you guys find it.
And the Dagesh.
It is the Dagesh, that's right. So it's in the vein here. What's its binyanim and its conjugation?
I think it is a hifil infinitive.
That's right. So the infinitive with the lamed on there isn't too hard to get to. It's got all the markers of the hifil as well. The only hard part is the root because the noon has gone away. But lots of stuff going on there. So nevertheless, I will again look El Heikal
to your holy something.
Yeah, holy. Give me anybody guess.
Temple.
Goodness?
What was that?
Goodness?
Oh, goodness. It's actually a physical object that he's going to look upon again. Heikal is temple.
Ah.
I'm surprised we haven't had that word, but it hasn't really come up in any of our stories because we've been reading Torah of kind of pre-temple stuff, right? So Heikal's temple. So I think here he is saying, he feels like he's turned away from God or he's been cast out from before the Lord, but he wants to gaze once again upon his holy temple. I mean, that's quite a nice little verse there, I suppose. Any thoughts on that one? All right. So this is a shorter one. Katie, go ahead and read to the
Afafuni mayim ad nefesh tahom yasoveni. Okay, so I don't know what the root of that is. Pepe noon?
I mean, that's possible.
Something, water, until, life, the home,
We know
everlasting.
from Genesis.
Huh?
We know to home from Genesis chapter.
Right.
1. Did you? I might have missed it. Did you translate it?
From forever, deep,
Deep. That's right.
deep.
And we just learned Savav from the previous verse.
Right, surrounding.
Surrounding. That's right. Good. All right. Well, so as far as the root of Afaf, the only time in Hebrew words where you'll have two of the same consonants in a row is the last two. So it's got to be blank, pay. And then we got this oo on the end. So if we were to parse this out, could we have an aleph and the shurik on the end, like an aleph on the front and a shurik? Is there any conjugation where that happens, aleph and a shurik on there?
I don't know. Not that we've studied.
Not that we, so there isn't. So the root is actually aleph, pay.
Oh,
These are called geminate nouns. And it just so happens, or maybe it happens for, a very good reason, hard to say, but a lot of them like mean to surround, like this one does, to circle about, like this one does. So that like double letter there has some sort of repetition meaning in my mind. It connects to that idea of circling about or coming around. And,
yeah.
like a lot of them have that meaning for some reason. All right, so I think we know all the words. How do you put it together into some sort of English sentence?
So the water surrounds me. I don't know really what to do with the odd.
Yeah.
Like taking my life or something until I almost die.
Yeah, something like that. That's what it means. I don't know how to translate it nicely. But it seems like the water surround me up until my death, or up until right up to the edge of my soul.
Yeah. And then the deep encircles me.
Good. All right, Jonah, for the last three there.
Suf chavush l'roshi.
So, how many of those words do we know?
I see to my head.
Yeah. All right. And if we were just to guess what it's talking about based on the previous clause, any guesses?
Maybe that his head is about to be submerged.
All right. So his soul was submerged, and now the head is probably paralleling the soul part. The rest of this has got to be paralleling like the circling about. The suf are reeds, so the suf yam, the suf yam, or the yam suf is actually the yam suf is the Sea of Reeds, the Red Sea. So that suf chabush is to bind. So the reeds, and this is probably not reeds like in shallow water, but like what are those really long tubular plants that like
Reed.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. So he's down deep in the water, and this is like grabbing at his head.
And the seaweed is wrapping around my head.
Yeah, you need a better word than seaweed. That doesn't sound too threatening. I'm not sure like what sort of like aquatic plant would sound worse.
I'm seeing like Jonah with a seaweed headdress.
It just sounds like.
mean,
it's not gonna
I
kill
guess y'all haven't been to the crappy beaches in Texas, but like seaweed is the worst. So
Texas speech seaweed. That does sound threatening, actually. Whenever you put Texas next to something, it really scares us Northwesterners. So that makes sense to me.
Maybe we can think about a possible Texan provenance for Jonah.
Yeah. So he's actually in the Gulf right now. The whale took him all the way there. That's where Tarshish is, because we're actually not really sure. It seems to be like maybe northern Africa or something, but nobody actually.
Oh, wait, Tarshish, Texas? That's like not. I don't know,
At the
man.
Dead Sea Scrolls, maybe there's a variant that we need. I don't think this is actually found. Let's find out.
That's how the Lost Tribes got to America.
Oh man, now this is all Joseph Smith sort of stuff. All right.
Why not? You did it. We can do it.
Start our own little cult based off of the original Hebrew read. That's never happened before. All right. Let's hear. We can read another verse or two. It's Alex's turn.
Lakitz ve Harim Yarad T Haaretz Haaretz Bari Keha Baadi La'olam.
So,
I know that one. Forever.
yeah, good.
Okay. Lakitzve.
Yeah, that's not a word that we've had, I don't think.
I don't think that's a word. Harim.
Not a real word. We've had this one.
Harim.
Yeah, it's plural though.
Mountains?
Yeah.
Mountains, of course. He. Oh, maybe not. Jared.
Hi, Jared.
That's it. Go down.
That's right.
Ugh. I went down.
I went down to the blank.
Texas.
I went down the mountains of Texas.
Yep.
The Texan mountains.
Mhm.
Kutsav is the roots or the base of the mountains.
To the base of the mountains, I went down.
That's right.
The earth. The mountain. This is New Claus, I guess. The earth.
Mhm.
Bara. Rock.
Bless?
Flee or bless. Flee.
So with the cough at the end, it can mean to bless.
Okay, so flee.
With the chet, it can mean to flee. But as a noun, it means bars. I know. So her, this is her here. So her bars, Earth's bars, va'adi le'olam.
Go on forever.
Well, let's continue on with like Jonah's being surrounded by stuff, that whole idea. So he's gone down to the roots of the mountains, the bars of the earth, blank me.
Bind me forever.
Yeah. So this is to bind. Or behind. What? Hold on.
To bind or behind.
I wish it was bind. That would make more sense. Bind or through. Gone through me. Or behind. Oh, they're behind me forever. So this is how far down he has gone, I guess, is the bars of the earth are behind me forever. I don't know if we've talked about this. Maybe you have in some of your classes, but like the cosmology of the earth, somebody told me about this idea of a snow globe. I feel like that might have been Jonah. Was that you? All right. This idea of a snow globe really helps me with the cosmology of the universe. The rakia is the dome of the snow globe, right? And And then the base is what we're talking about here, the roots of the mountains and the bars of the earth. Like the bars are holding up the globy part. That Jonah has moved on past that. Like Sheol is supposed to be down here in the base of the mountains, but he's gone even past that. That's how far Jonah feels like he is away from God, because it's like God is up here and Jonah is way down here, so he feels very far away. All right, circling back around to Katie.
Bata'al mishachat chaya Adonai Eleha. Elohai.
Eloha.
Aloha. Vata'al. It went up from Shachat, which I know that I've seen before. Chaya, so that's life, maybe, of the Lord my God.
So two go up, Shachat. So,
the pit.
So, but who's doing the going up? Who's the subject?
Jonah.
I feel good about that. Could be Jonah, but is there a subject here in the verse that we could put in there?
The Lord God.
So it could be the Lord God. Could
Is
also,
it
Or the life.
Chaya?
yeah, so
Yeah,
this is
Chaya.
my life. My life.
So my life goes up from the pit.
Yeah, so my life, and it's past narrative. So my life has come up from the pit. And then here, we're probably just going to say, "Oh Lord, my God."
Okay.
So he feels like this verse, I think, or this clause here is saying that gone down to the pit, and this one says that life has come up out of the pit again, right? So this is kind of a turning point in his little prayer here, where he, I think, has reached rock bottom, and now he's kind of coming back up. Let's see what verse 8 has for our last verse. Jonah.
Bahit taste Allah nafshi et Adonai Zacharti. And there's the Hippiel, but I don't know what the root is. A Hippiel with an attached preposition. That's weird. So would it be a Hippiel participle?
Participle or infinitive?
Or infinitive?
Either one, so you kind of have to decide based on the vowels.
Okay. Well, something is upon me, my life, and Adonai is our object.
Well, look at your accents. So the Masoretes want to divide this section into two.
Okay, so our Hippiel and then Allah is one section, one clause, I guess. I think. And then Nafshi starts another clause.
So the accent is at the end of the idea. So this word, with the two dots here, I always forget what they're called, are marking the end of this clause, and then the Otnok is marking the end of this word.
Okay.
You've got to go over.
I guess I was looking at the Kirby accent above Allah.
Oh, okay. That's another. That's like the next one. So Otnok, and then the Kirby one. And then this one, I think, is the fourth level down.
Okay.
So let's figure out what this verb actually means. Forgetting a moment. A talk, to be faint. Infinitive.
Okay. To be faint. In being faint. I don't really know what to do with that.
So let's make this a temporal clause. And
Okay,
let's make this the subject.
my life. When my life was faint.
Allah.
When my life was faint upon me.
Mm-hmm. Then he does this.
Okay. Adonai Zachar. We've seen that, right?
Yeah.
Male.
That's not male, is it?
Noun, it's male when it's a verb.
Right.
You have to remember where you park the car.
The car.
So, the parking lot.
That's right.
Remember.
Oh, it's remember. Oh, it's memory. Okay. Adonai remembered. When my life was faint upon me, the Lord remembered.
Well, who's the subject of Zakar?
Wait. Zakar. Oh, I remembered the Lord.
So again, he's walked on, trying to come up out of it, and the soul is failing him, and this is the moment that he. All right, Alex, go ahead and finish off this verse here.
V'tavo alecha tefilati el hekol kadesheka. Oop. So the right verse. Yep.
Yeah,
To your holy temple.
corrected. That's right. Unto your holy temple. Good. So that's we remember that from previous. Nice. I actually know all these words. I think maybe not this one.
And something came
Yeah.
to
Okay.
So something, it came unto you, and this is our subject.
my prayer
That's right. My prayer, it came unto you,
to your holy temple.
holy temple. All right. Good. Well, poetry's not that bad, huh? When
I
we're
like
all,
the rhyming.
what's that, Alex?
I like the rhyming.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rhyming's my favorite part.
All right. Well, maybe we'll finish off these verses tomorrow. I want to try to read through all of Jonah tomorrow, if at all possible. That'll take some speed reading, but it's fun.
Oh man.
We got nothing else to do, tomorrow evening. So, all right. Any thoughts or questions before we come today?
That was awesome.
All right. Cool. Well, have a good day. We'll see you all tomorrow.
All right.